Shalom. Welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Damar, together with my co-host Mark Ronig of Statewide News Service, jbiztechvalley.com, and now columnist for the Jewish Press.
I have a column called Albany Beat, and I talk about how government relates to the Jewish community, or doesn't, as the case may be. And so that's what I'm doing now. And the Jewish Press is a national weekly newspaper, the most widely read Orthodox Jewish newspaper in the country. So it's good. Now, we have a special guest with us, my new county legislator.
That's right.
From Albany County, Gary Domalewicz. Gary, welcome back to the Jewish View.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So now you're at the 10th legislative district.
We're the 10th legislative district due to the redistricting.
Okay, well, I'm glad. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Great, thank you.
Now, you do have one of the largest Jewish communities of any of the county legislatures.
Probably, more than my old district, because now I take in more of all from, I used to stop at Hackett, and now I go all the way over to Whitehall, down to Cardinal, so I pick up all that 8-6, I think it is,
Sure.
so, which is a stronger Jewish neighborhood. So, yeah, it's great.
Did we redistrict every 10 years, just like the federal congressional
we were
district?
involved in a little lawsuit, and we had to redo it again, and that's what happened, and that's where we're doing it now. That's why it's so late.
Yeah, and you really they wanted to cut you out of Ohav Shalom Apartments, but you really fought to
I
be
did. Ohav
there
was out.
because you know those people there. I mean, they're your buddies.
Well, I'm very blessed to have the support at Ohav Shalom. It's great,
Yeah.
and it's a great group of people going through a renovation right now. Everybody's.
But you are revered there. I'll tell you. You mentioned the Domalewicz name, and they're like, like this, and then you go ahead and they say if there's anything that goes wrong, they have the number, they call you.
Well, and that's one of the points. I'm very happy that in this last budget, there was no funding for. We used to have a program where the buses would go and pick up the seniors throughout the city and take them to Park Playhouse, take them to Proctor's, and a couple of my constituents at Ohav said, we need to get out of here so we can go see the Park Playhouse. We can't do that no more. And they don't have the funds to do that. And I put it back in the budget in this 2015 budget. And in fact, they just went to Park Playhouse last week.
Beautiful.
And we worked out a program with the Albany Senior Service Center, and the bus goes over, picks them up, picks them at Ohav, and takes them to wherever they want to go.
And I remember when CDTA was doing their reroutes that they wanted to not go to Ohav Shalom anymore because it's not used very much in terms of their numbers.
That's right.
And you fought hard to make sure that bus got to Ohav Shalom.
And Ohav Shalom is kind of isolated. It's out Crumkill Road, and you can't really walk to anything.
Right.
So those buses are very important to the residents there. And so we got those, and they're running good yet. But they're very happy with the buses for the, and that's for all the senior citizens in Albany County. But it started with Ohav.
Now you have. You've been in the legislature since 1992.
Yes, I'm in my sixth year.
4 years term.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
So, why do you want to keep doing this?
Well, because it still excites me. There's still things to be done. I'm here to say that the nursing home would not be open today.
The Albany County Nursing Home.
The Albany County Nursing Home. If it wasn't for me and my fellow Democrats on the Finance Committee that restored the funding for that, not once or twice, but 3 times.
Yeah.
So things like that, it's important. We move forward with that. And we're renovating it now, so we want to make sure we get that process done. This is going to be a gorgeous nursing home when we're done, and everybody's going to be really proud to go there.
So 22 years that you're in the legislature?
23.
Yeah. That's a long time.
Not for Albany.
You're closing in on the record, but
I don't know.
Are you one of the more senior members in the county legislature?
I am. Gil's the dean.
Yeah.
Myself, Frank. There's a few that are.
In that range. Of 20 plus years.
Yes.
I just
It turns a lot more than people realize,
right. And then there's the institutional memory of for the people like yourself. You're there to supply the institutional memory so that people you don't have to reinvent the wheel all
Well,
the time.
yeah, a lot of time they refer to me as the bridge.
The bridge for what?
The
Oh,
past
between
to
what?
the right.
Old timers.
How old? You're making yourself sound like
No,
you're
no, I'm
90
just saying. I'm
something.
just saying.
How old are you?
I'm 61.
61. So you're
Just a babe.
Another 20 years, you think?
Well, we'll see.
Oh wow.
God willing, I'd be happy with the 4.
Because that's going to be a long time that you could be in the.
It's very exciting. I'm
legislature.
still excited about it, so it's nice.
Okay, well, it's a certain type of temperament that you need.
But
to
that's
be-
just a part-time job.
Part-time, yes.
Well, what do you do
Part-time,
the other
full-time.
part? What do you do the other part of the time?
I own a food brokerage business. I'm self-employed. A food brokerage business.
Uh-huh.
And we do that, and we have fun with that. And so that's
You have
what I'm
kosher
doing.
food there? Maybe we should bring it.
Actually, I did. We didn't have any. Our current list that we don't have any kosher, but more and more of our companies are going kosher.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the business, and halal is a big part of the business.
Right.
Halal, yeah.
What's the name of the brokerage?
Upton Food Brokers.
Oh, Upton Food. Oh, that's your
Yeah,
street you live
yeah,
on. Okay.
yeah. Keep it simple.
Now, do you have a committee? You're on what? 2 or 3 committees?
I'm on 2 committees.
2 committees.
I'm on
Elder-
finance. I've been on the finance committee longer than anyone, and I'm chairman of the elder care committee.
Okay.
And I'm chairman of the IDA, which isn't actually a committee of the
How's
And
the
that's-
finances doing, the ones
Well,
here?
wait, I want to ask that. I want to clarify. IDA is Industrial Development Authority.
Industrial Development Agency.
And they
I'm
do-
chairman, and I'm also chairman of the Albany County Capital Resource Corporation,
Okay.
which is an arm of the IDA.
And they do the financing. They're like the county version of the Dormitory Authority.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You give money for new projects? That's
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
projects we've done. We've done projects in the Zen building on Washington Avenue Extension. That was
Right.
one of our projects. We've done projects from the Girls Academy library to Storm at Siena to the School Board Association building in Colony
Oh,
to
really?
so we're all over the place to Huck Finn Playland, helping them with a grant that we gave them, to working with the town of Bern in open space, preserving 350 acres of parkland that we're doing now. They're going to be opening up next year. So yeah, we're pretty active in what we're doing.
How many people on the board of the IDA?
7.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyone we would know?
Used to be 3. We moved it up to 7.
Anyone we would know?
We have Bill Clays on it.
Yeah.
G. Mizzicola, the next county legislator from Labor. Mike Paparian is from Citizens Bank. Nobody famous,
Okay.
I guess. Just average, hard-working people,
Okay. And
and they all do it gratis. Everybody on the IDA is,
including you.
including myself. We're not paid.
Okay. And as Rabbi Simon was asking about finances, how are the finances in this county?
Albany County finances are outstanding. In fact, the county executive put out a press release today saying we're not going to use any TANF money to go out and borrow for, or what we have to do is towards the end of the year, because the cash flow usually gets tight, we don't have enough cash on hand to maintain the services of Albany County. So we have to go out and borrow against our sales tax revenue. We don't have to do that this year.
And what's
because
TANF?
we have it's a tax anticipation notes.
Okay.
You can go out and
I just want people to know that we're not just
okay.
using
Yeah,
acronyms.
yeah,
for,
yeah, that's
so,
What do
okay.
you attribute it to? I mean, the Albany County,
well,
why
I'll tell
we're
you,
doing so well?
it's because of the is what we're doing at the nursing home. We're
Right.
saving $1 million out there. County executive is really cutting down on keeping expenses down. He's working hard on that. So that's a big part of it. And we're all working together, coming to the same direction for the taxpayers of Albany to keep us under that 2%, which is now less than 1%, so that we can still maintain the rebate checks that are supposed to be coming in the future for the taxpayers, that the government programs on the less than 1%, and consolidating services. It's all going to be a part of this whole program.
So how,
Excellent.
so when the county executive proposes the budget, how close is that to where the county legislature disposes of it? I mean, is it 99%?
For the county, for Dan's budgets, it has been, because he's been right on with the budget.
Okay. Well, that's all we need.
We had some problems when Mike Breslin was county executive, and he took out 130 employees from the nursing home that we, as the finance committee, put back in the budget to maintain the nursing home and find the funding to make sure that we had to keep the nursing home open. So and that was a challenge. I mean, when you take 130 people out, you talk a couple $1 million. You have to go and find a couple $100 million, a couple $1 million to offset where we are.
Everybody.
So other than that, but the last few budgets have been right on.
Now, I remember when we were talking about the nursing home the last time, that we were talking about how it's $1 million a month that it was costing
Well, that's
the
not true.
taxpayers, and then some people said it's less than that, but still it was maybe $9 million a year, $8 million a year instead of 12, but we were still talking millions of dollars. I'm just wondering, like, that's not the case anymore. Like, all of a sudden, within a short period of time, you're way under the tax cap. We were talking doom and gloom at one point where, oh my gosh, the 2%, we're not, we're going to have to do these overrides for these votes to exceed the 2% for many years to come. I mean, everyone was like, remember this?
It was all hype. Until we went out, the legislature went out and hired Larry Slasky.
Yeah.
And Larry he got in there and he rolled his sleeves up, and we're saving $6-7 million this year alone, cutting the cost down to probably hope around 5.
Sure.
Operating expenses to do that. But there's not a public nursing home in the state that doesn't require more funding than. I don't like to say that's profitable, because we're not in a profit-making business. We deliver services to the poor and the most needy.
That's right.
In Albany County. And if they want to look at things like that, we shouldn't have a jail. Our jail,
Makes
even
money.
though it makes money, but it also spends $37 million.
Yeah.
So
Well, the county clerk's office is the only one that gives money back to the county
exactly.
the county coffers.
That's right. So and that's our function, is to provide services to the most needy in Albany County.
Okay.
And if it costs $1 million or $2 million to do that, I
What's
wholeheartedly
the
support
size of
that.
the county budget? How big is it?
I didn't see this.
Approximately.
2015 is like $680 million.
680 million.
I remember it was
So it's less than
300.
It's about less than 1% goes for the nursing home. I mean, you said
Yeah,
5 million,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's less than 1%.
Yeah.
So
What's
I
the
think-
major expenses of the 680?
Social services, Medicaid reimbursements,
Right.
Medicaid. New York State
Unfunded mandates.
New York State is one of the few states in the country that makes localities and counties pay 25% of the Medicaid bill. That's our biggest expense. If we didn't have the Medicaid, our 25% of the Medicaid portion of that state tax bill, we wouldn't have a property tax in Albany County.
Really?
No, and we've been encouraging our state representatives for years to help us with that. And now, probably the last 3 or 4 years, they've been trying to maintain the levels, at least, and not increasing the Medicaid portion every year. But it's very difficult, and that's our most expensive, bar none, our most expensive expense in Albany County.
So now you're also chair of the Elder Care Committee.
Yes.
So that dovetails in with the finances that you were talking about with the nursing home.
Right.
And the finance committee. So tell me about your Elder Care Committee. What are some of the issues that you're working on?
We're working on controlling expenses at the nursing home, which Larry's doing a great job with.
Okay.
We have we're going through a major renovation right now at the nursing home, floor by floor.
Okay.
We cut the count back so that we can have.
But elder care is more than the nursing home.
Yeah, there's other.
So
That's
what
pretty
else?
much. Yeah, aging too. We do a little bit with the aging. But our main focus has been for the nursing home, and that's why the committee was created.
Because I know
Because
that,
Social Service Committee takes some of these other programs on too.
okay, because I know on the state level, there are laws about elder abuse.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought maybe you might have a handle on how we're doing in Albany County about, we have a lot of elder abuse going on in Albany County, or do you hear about?
We don't hear about that or get involved in. I mean, that would be social services.
Right, but wouldn't that,
No, it doesn't. It's not. That would be with social services. That's not in with what we do.
oh, that would be the Social
Yeah.
Services Committee.
Social services. Committee,
Okay,
yes, yeah.
so what other elder issues?
The main focus of the committee right now is the nursing
Well,
home.
why wouldn't aging be under elder care?
Well, it's a new committee. We just started this probably 2 years ago.
The elder care.
Elder care.
But there's an aging committee, isn't there?
Aging.
There's an office of aging for
Yeah,
the county.
and that'd be under social services.
Well, why don't they put that under your
Yeah, we can look at that.
auspices?
But a lot of this is already set by charter.
The what?
It's all set by charter. Who to report. You know what.
Really? What
yeah.
department reports to
Right,
which
right.
committee?
Which committee? Yeah.
Isn't that a
Yeah.
bit arcane?
Well, you know.
It is what
So
it is? Well, aren't we?
We're redoing it,
Aren't we
so-
doing a charter
Yeah,
revision?
we're working on a charter. There's some changes that are coming. So,
Okay. What would you like to see in the charter revision?
well, what I'd like to see is not going to happen. I think the legislature is too large. I think
They
30
voted against it recently,
They
didn't
did. They did. I didn't. I just think that in today's day and age with cell phones and email, and my biggest concern about it is that up until this last time, I always supported 39. What changed my mind now is that because my biggest thing is staying in contact with your constituents, communications. Today, with emails and cell phones, and you can be very touchable with everybody. Shows like this,
Right.
So there's no need to keep
We've
39.
had legislators, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but just the counter argument is just that the door-to-door would get very, very difficult. I mean, you're right, you can keep in contact with email on what the President of the United States sends the
But we're
email
only talking
on TV.
But we're only talking from going from 75, 78,000, or
1,000.
7,800. I'm
100,
sorry,
right, yeah.
to maybe 10,000.
Right.
All right,
And,
That's
and,
that's all we're talking.
And, I know-
And we're talking not doing the 20 census, which would actually wouldn't get done to 2023 by the time the census and everything's all done. So.
and by then, who knows how fast we can communicate with
Other than
everyone.
Gil, who
That's
knows
right.
who'd even be there?
That's right. I noticed that with a lot of committees, now that they're live streaming some of the committees, at least on the state level, you have fewer people in the audience because a lot of them are just watching it from their
Yeah, I
desks
brought that
and-
up 5 years ago, that we should do that, and it got nowhere. So,
I went to
Put on cable TV.
yeah, well,
yeah,
cable TV
In
government
the state
access.
does them on computers.
And I said I went to Guilderland or Colony Town Hall, and I said, how come there's no one here? I mean, it's just you guys. And they said, oh, they're all watching it at home on TV.
Well, we
or,
tape our legislative meetings.
Yeah.
And it's taped and shown the following Thursday
Right.
on cable
Channel 18, 19, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the government access, I think it is.
Right.
So we have that. We've had that for years.
Right.
But streaming the committee meetings is what people are.
Right, 'cause that's where the
be
action
interested.
happens.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
And nobody goes to those. There's no public, unless there's an issue.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's all routine business.
Let me ask you about Audit and Finance, with that committee, do you deal with the controller, the county controller a lot?
Yes, yes.
So with the finances, you deal with the county executive a lot, and you also deal with the county controller a
The
lot.
controller does help us a lot with the budget. He helps us a lot with the budget.
Boy, if there was ever a meeting of the minds, or if ever you got people in office who didn't think all the same way, boy, there could really be a quagmire.
It's like it's different sometimes.
Well, do you have any problems that would put you in a difficult situation between the county executive and county controller?
No, No,
We're all on
not
the
that I
same
know
page.
of.
We're all on the
You
same
know,
page in this county.
That could change after seeing the show.
You've been around a long time, but a lot of things that are, is it because they're all Democrats? Or, I mean, because how long ago, Mark's the reporter, there was a Republican.
What, county executive?
Yeah.
Mike
Hopper?
Hopper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
1991.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, well,
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's before your time. I'm just
No, I
saying.
was
is
there.
it a really,
Well,
done-
93 you started.
Yeah.
But 91 you
He was,
started.
Mike Hopper was there
so
in,
is there more
in 90.
rift, or like Mark says, sometimes no different ways to plow the road? I mean,
Well, you know,
sometimes it gets a little testing.
Hoblock winning was because Coyne went to jail.
Right,
Jim
exactly.
Coyne was the county executive for 16 years, and then he went to jail. So there was an agreement of some sort behind the scenes also that the only way Mike Hoblock could win is if Democrats supported him.
I don't know about that.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
you know,
it's-
I didn't support him. I supported Lyman.
Right,
You know,
but you're the hardcore Dem. I mean, you got to toe the line. You got to be, you know.
Well,
you're-
I support. He's a good candidate. He was a
Okay.
good candidate.
The point is that there were, I know because in the late 90s when I was executive director of the Albany County Republican Committee, the list that we had all these Democratic names on it that they never took off from 93, and we were still sending mailings to the Democrats telling them about our fundraisers and what we're doing in the county committee and things like that. And probably a third of the list were Democrats, and I wiped them off and I put on the equal number of Republicans on there. So all of a sudden money started rolling in.
Hit the wrong list.
So you got to have the right list.
Gotta have the right
but that's
list.
how
That's
I know
important.
Mike Hoblock really did connect with a lot of the Democrats throughout the county because I saw the list. I mean, I was there for that. So
Well, you know, I think-
and you were the hardliner Democrat. You know, you got a D etched in your back. You
Well,
know?
I think, you know, it's different philosophies.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, between the Republicans and the
On
Democrats.
the
and
national,
that's it.
on the national
You know?
level, but not so much on a local level. You know
Well-
what? I always say that there's no Democrat or Republican way to pave the roads or plow the streets or pick up garbage. There's no, Democrat or Republican way to do that.
No, there isn't. But you know, there's
Fine
we
differences,
have different
fine.
philosophies on maybe keeping the nursing home open. You know that was some party line votes going on there. You know, but we're moving forward. I mean, we're working together on Sojourn,
Right.
which is going to be the a project at the old Ann Lee home.
That's right.
For veterans in Albany County. You can
Yeah.
go and get services, and it's a program the county executive brought forward to us that we're supporting, and it's going to be great. I mean, there's numbers out there that there's thousands and thousands of veterans homeless, on the streets of Albany County every night,
Yeah.
and they need these services and these programs, and we're going to, and this is all.
Dan McCoy came up with that. our
Dan-
county
Dan worked-
executive, and I thought that was phenomenal when he's been on the show here. He's been talking about it, and
It's gonna be great.
When is the ribbon cutting? October.
We're still moving forward on it.
Right before election day.
Well, it's going to be great, and it's a program that
Answer.
nobody else is thinking like that. It was out of the box,
right.
to help our veterans, and Dan is very supportive of that.
Absolutely.
And as is the legislature.
Well, as the
you know.
Republicans would say, he
You know,
needs a
it's
place
not,
to
you know,
go
and it's
when
not
he's
being
out of
done,
office.
and it's really not being done with a lot of tax money. It's being done, funded by a lot of non-for-profit money.
Right.
So it's great.
Tell us more about the IDA that you're chairman of. Tell us, did that have anything to do with the convention center? Did you?
No, that would be a dormitory
That's
project because
dormitory.
it's a
sorry.
state
But
state.
there was no IDA money going to that.
Not from
No.
us.
Okay. Well,
Maybe from the city.
IDA.
I doubt though. No, I think the city. I think it's probably dormitory authority is
Okay.
probably doing most of that. A couple projects we're working on now in the Port of Queens. Port of Queens is coming through with a couple new buildings down there. We're trying to help them with.
So are these low interest loans?
We don't do loans.
These are grants?
We do some grants. We do the mortgage recording tax abatement. We do the sales tax abatement. We help with the financing of on the loans that they get from the banks. That we can help them with that with the rate. But our biggest thing right now is we're coming. we're coming together with the Regional Economic Development Council
Yeah.
so that we can come up with a plan for this whole region
Right.
to access that $1 billion that the governor has out there. We're out there hiring a consultant, the same ones who the Buffalo Billion hired, McNair Company. They're the best in this consulting field and setting us up. So we're working with them now. We put $100,000 in Albany County IDA as part of towards their fees on come up with a program and a plan that we can present to the Economic Council, the Governor's Council, this October, so that we can try to access some of that money to bring more jobs and more opportunities for people in I have some priorities for Albany County, but this whole capital region.
Where do you see, and where do you get the money from? Where does the money for the IDA come from?
We charge fees.
To whom?
None of it's taxpayers' money. It's fees that we charge different corporations for our services, anywhere between 3/4 to 1% of the project, and that's how we generate our income.
Oh, wow. So what's the budget at the Albany County IDA?
We're very frugal. We don't have any full-time employees.
Okay.
And
You could be
the board is-
frugal, but what's your budget?
we're probably around a couple $100,000.
Okay.
You know,
So,
you know.
I mean, because
Where
you-
Albany City's probably about 800,000.
So when you talk about the money that you're giving out to, or you're helping people, the Port of Queens and stuff, where do you get that money from?
No, that's my budget. That's not my
Right.
What my
I'm talking about, okay.
our revenue and cash flow is we're probably cash wise probably around. And it's all online,
I know.
albanycounty.com/IDA.
That's why I'm not asking anything you don't know, so, yeah.
We're at about 4 million.
4 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the money, the 4 million's what you get from the fees that you charge?
Exactly.
That's what I'm asking. That's
Yes.
what I was, that's
Yeah.
why when you said 200,000, I
Yeah,
was like.
yeah, it's not taxpayers. It's not taxpayers' dollars at all.
Right.
And I've been on the IDA 15 years, and I remember we had no money. So
How did you get into all this finance? Did you go to school for this? Did you
I'm a marketing.
marketing guy?
Yeah.
Right.
He's a businessman. He knows his money over here. That's
I just would put on the committees, and
learned
and,
along the way.
Well, you spend 23 years looking at a budget that you pretty much know it pretty well,
Yeah.
and so that's
Okay.
that's,
Now,
of course with me I have all the history, what goes behind it too. So
what do you think of the Albany County convention, the State Convention Center, or whatever that they're building down on?
I think it's a great idea. I just think that I hope it works. I mean, we put the seed money in for that,
Right.
With the 1.5% portion for the hotel tax for that.
Right.
So, which is fine, and we're going to do another $30 million renovation to the Civic Center, the Times Union Center, to help coordinate with that, and then close the whole front and everything. And that's not going to be done with taxpayer dollars either. That's going to be part of the hotel tax, paying for that in its entirety. So that's good. And I think that the Civic Center, I think has been a wonderful added to the way of life and quality of life for Albany and Albany County with the shows that you'd never see.
The Times Union Center.
Times Union Center, yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm hoping that the convention center, which is going to be tied in with the Times Union Center, because we have Bob Belber doing both, which was a good move.
Yeah.
That was smart, and tied into the new hotel going in there. So hopefully it's going to be very good for us, and there could be some good activities coming.
How does this fit in with the food brokerage business that you run?
We don't sell them anything.
Nothing?
No.
No, this isn't.
No, we
I mean,
sell
because-
we sell the wholesalers.
Okay, because there's a lot of food that goes into the convention center and all that. There's a lot of food
we
flowing
don't-
around.
yeah,
and I got to tell you, I really pitched the County Convention Visitors Bureau to have kosher food,
There you
kosher
go.
There you go.
kitchen.
Yeah.
and
I'm
they-
all for that.
But they didn't want to do it. They said it was the money.
It's not all about the money
Well, I'm
sometimes.
asking you to go to bat for me, and you go talk
Absolutely.
to Gavin Donahue about it,
Yeah.
and Michelle Vinard.
Yes,
and
I
you
will.
Try to
I'll
make
talk
the
to
pitch,
you.
okay?
Absolutely.
That's my last word.
It's
for
too bad Sandy's that we're going to get Sandy to do the catering for that.
Which Sandy?
Sandy with
DeCenzo? No.
who's the caterer up on off of Allen, Willow Street.
Yeah, that was Sandy. I know who you mean. Yes. I know who you
I
mean.
always had the big hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Okay.
He did a few bar mitzvahs for me.
Oh,
so.
he was the best.
He
I
was
used to
the
sell
best,
him
yeah.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, we're out of time. It's always good checking in with you and
Thank
telling
you.
us the good state of Albany County. So it's in good hands.
We're in
That's what
great.
we can say. Keep on going for another 23 years and do it with good health.
Thank you.
All right, much success. Yeah.
Thank you.